Welcome back to Stop My Crisis. I'm your host, Vivian Gaspar. Business credit is one of the most important tools for success small business owners can have in their portfolio. And I'm here today, very fortunately, to have an expert in how small business owners can act more like large corporations and utilize business credit to their advantage. Here with me today is S.E. Day. S.E., welcome to the show, and thank you for helping small business owners last and profit and thrive in their businesses by using finance to their benefit.
Vivian, thank you for having me on the show. In launching this book, I know your passion for small businesses and helping them achieve to stop their crisis, and I thought this would be the perfect place to launch this book with you from an advocate standpoint.
Well, we're very excited because I know this can change and pivot small business owners who might be getting started or launching to a new level in their business. Understand that overcoming the financial hurdle is what would help them make or break or even hire a bigger staff or get the marketing or whatever they need to get to a higher level of success. And you are going to be what helps them accomplish that.
Absolutely. In your opening, you said that business credit was one of the most important tools a small business can have in their portfolio. You're absolutely right. Shockingly, 99% of small businesses do not have business credit, nor do they know how to go by establishing it.
I am really shocked about that. How is it virtually every single small business owner does not understand that? How is that possible?
Two issues. One, there's no unilateral lending process across the spectrum between banks, credit unions, credit reporting companies. No one's synced. The second thing is small business owners think that business credit is a misnomer. They think that you have to use your personal credit to get business credit, and that's not the case.
Is there anyone currently out there educating small business owners on that? How about through the SBA or SBDC or any other business advisory to small business owners?
No.
No one.
No.
That's possibly what is the answer behind why 99%?
This is what gave me the wherewithal to write this book. I went to a conference years ago, and it was basically how to bring funding to small business owners. In this conference, room full of 200 people, you had all of your alphabet soup. All that soup you just named, including the Federal Reserve, the FDIC, Bank of America, Chase, and they were talking about business credit. So for an hour, they talked about how a small business owner would need business credit to make their business grow. And finally, after an hour, I raised my hand and I said, I have a question. Can anyone in the room tell me how to go about establishing business credit?
Let me guess. There was silence.
Crickets.
Crickets. Worse than silence.
Yes, worse than silence. So I said, I've done over 9,000 hours of research in dealing with banks, credit unions, credit reporting companies. I love the way they call them credit reporting bureaus. They're not bureaus. They're for-profit companies.
Of course they're.
Equifax,
they get money.
Experian, yes, those are for-profit
Aren't they totally for-profit? Where they actually charge for every single time they give you a credit report?
Yes, they want money. So they're not bureaus. They're companies.
Misnomer right there.
Misnomer. So one of the things that I realized was in doing that research in 17 years of dealing with businesses and structuring businesses was that small business owners do not understand the playing field. It's a maze.
I've always heard to have good personal credit, you should have some amount of credit cards at a certain amount of usage level. Yeah. You know, I heard it's like you should have no more than 33% or so, or 30%
actually,
used.
no more than 30%.
Is that, I'm sorry?
No more than 30% usage,
correct.
Yes.
No more than 30% used to establish better credit as an individual. Now, people say, well, I don't want a credit card, I don't want debt. But you should in order to have better credit worthiness because you don't know if you want a mortgage or if you want a car. Right. So for a small business owner, if they're not looking to take on business credit, what is the benefit for them to establish credit worthiness for their business entity?
Here's the deal. I always ask a business owner, what are your plans for the future?
Do you mean like a 5-year plan?
It can be a 1-year plan. And most is like, you know, I want to grow a successful business and make money.
Now, shouldn't they have a business plan to be able to answer that properly?
Well, that's a whole nother topic. But before we go there, let's go back on the credit side.
Right.
In this country, cash is no longer king.
Credit is.
Credit is king.
Do enough people realize that?
No. A lot of business owners are like, well, I don't want debt.
That's exactly my point.
Managed debt is good debt, and you can grow your business through managed debt.
Now, do you also address managed debt in your book?
Say again?
Do you address managed credit in your book?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There are different phases of credit that you should have. So a credit card is one thing, even on the personal side, right? But that's only one strain of credit. What about installment loans? So if you have a credit card, let's say your credit score was 730. It will never go over 730. I don't care if you only use 14% usage of the card. It'll never go over 730 because to a lender, you don't have enough risk. We need to know how are you with installment loans.
Okay, so here's my credit question. For a small business owner's credit, for the business entity.
Right.
If you're a sole proprietor, does that still count? Or
towards your business?
Towards your business.
No.
Okay,
no.
So you have to be an established, is it LLC or S Corp?
Let's talk about that.
Or C Corp.
We touched on that earlier.
Correct.
Here's the deal. You need to be a structured corporation.
So that includes the S Corp, C Corp, or LLC?
No, not LLC.
Not LLC. So it can only be an S Corp or C Corp.
Yes, because you have the S Corp has something called pass-through taxation.
That's correct, yes.
And this is why a lot of people run to the LLCs because of pass-through taxation. You can get the same thing with an S Corp, pass-through taxation. The only difference is you have to file your intentions with the IRS.
Correct.
I think it's the Form 8338 that you plan to file as a small business with pass-through taxation. But because corporations are more structured, and when I say that, you're set up with the Secretary of State, you have your board members listed, you have your principals listed.
Correct.
Two things creditors care about: stability.
Wait, you said two things.
Two things corporate creditors care about.
Correct.
Stability and accountability.
Okay.
I want to be able to touch you when I need you. In other words, I want to be able to call and talk to a live person that's a member of that corporation. And stability. I want you to be making money. I want you to be a stable company. I don't want you to have a post box that's used as your business address.
Oh, P.O. box.
Yeah.
What about, okay, now that we're on that topic,
okay.
Does it make a difference if it's a UPS store address?
Yes, it does.
So that's not going to work either?
That's not good at all.
Okay.
You can actually use your home address. In fact, I encourage you in the book, use your home address. It's a stable address. You've been there. It's registered to you.
Here's another question of why someone would want business credit. So even if somebody right now says, oh, I don't want to have the burden having debt, what about in the future? What if right now, for example, let's say someone starts as a business that rents out of a small office space or retail space, or even there's a lot of home-based businesses. Right. What if down the line they might end up growing their business and might look to maybe perhaps buy commercial real estate? Can a entity such as your C Corp or S Corp build up enough business credit to buy real estate in that entity's name? Can that be that purpose?
Yes. Now let's go back to how old corporations are. They've been around since the 1800s, which is why they are the preferred
Dun and Bradstreet we're talking about.
No, I'm talking about corporations.
Oh, just the concept of corporations.
The legal structure of corporations has been around since the 1800s, which means it is strong. When you get your tax ID number, a corporation is considered an artificial entity.
Yes, you kind of give birth to it, and when you don't want it more, you have to kill it off, so to speak.
Right. But the first chapter in the book is you are not your company. Think about it. You're a small business owner. You wear all the hats. You have to do everything. But your company is like a baby. You have to grow it up. You are not the baby. You're the parent of the baby. Same thing with a corporation. Your tax ID number is like the Social Security number for your business. And you should build it up and build credit in that. In the book, I talk about the ways to build it up, the right corporate structure, and there are 11 critical requirements that every small business owner must have. 11.
That's something we're going to cover now.
No,
so you really do need to get the book, because that's something I never even realized.
I'll give you two of them. Let's say you start a business, right?
Yes.
You're doing fine, and you're doing banking as, Stop My Crisis, Vivian Gaspar.
That's not the name. I'm not going to say it now.
Right, doing business as Stop My Crisis. You're considered a sole proprietor.
Correct.
because your company, your bank account is not attached to a corporation. It's attached to you, the individual. That's one critical element. You have to have a bank account in your business name.
I'm sure every small business owner has a bank account in their business's name,
No, they
right?
don't. No.
Oh.
No. A lot of them are doing business as. Here's the thing. A lot of people will get their tax ID number and say, hey, I got my business up. I'm ready to go. And all you have is your tax ID number.
How do you not have a bank account for that business?
It's doing business as.
So an individual doing business as a, wait.
Right. I already have my account
name,
with my
doing
bank.
business name, but with my company name?
Exactly.
That's not sufficient. That's not enough.
SE Day doing business as CETA Media Corporation.
Ah, that's not enough.
Terrible. Terrible.
That's not a good way.
Another thing, real simple. What is your email address to your company?
It should be at my company. It's Vivian at stopmycrisis.com.
A lot of people, it's seday@gmail.com.
That is... No,
corporate creditors don't take
you... It's very, very unprofessional.
Corporate creditors don't take you serious. If you don't take your business serious, why would a corporate creditor?
No, I've always known that it should be an @yourbusinesses.com. You should always... Everybody should have a real URL website.
I totally
You go to
agree.
stopmycrisis.com. My email is Vivian@stopmycrisis.com.
I totally agree.
And whenever I've seen that someone else does whatever at Gmail,
Right.
I say, no, stop.
Right. I don't even want to do business with you because how serious are you about your business?
And it also means to me that you're an individual who's very serious about their business and that you're doing it full time and this is something that you care about. It's if someone's doing at Gmail,
Right.
I give them less credibility in my mind automatically.
So does
I
a
started
corporate creditor.
my first company when I was 19.
So does
I've
a
started
corporate creditor.
5. I have some idea about what this is about.
Right.
So when I see someone else doing that easy mistake, what does that reflect in my mind? So I completely agree with you on this.
I agree with you. I have started, Vivian, over 22 companies.
Oh my God, you look great for 80 years old.
I know, right? And
how did you do that when you were like 12? You started your first business?
I've built business credit for each one of those companies.
That's great. I think it's going to be fantastic that people could reach out to you off your website and speak to you and get consultations because everybody needs to do that. That's amazing. I think so many people don't know what they're doing, but they want a successful business and they're not going to get it.
Right.
And they're looking at you like, oh my God, I have no idea.
Right.
Wow,
Another
this is
thing
very
that's more
valuable.
powerful about the book is I give you more than 25 corporate creditors in the book with instructions that tell you how to set up business credit with those corporate creditors.
Thank you very much, SC. That is fantastic information.